Hey everybody, Cinema Sickness here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. And today, everything I received came in the mail through a guy off of Craigslist, ordered some great stuff, so let's take a look at everything I got. So everything I got off of Craigslist today was of the HD DVD variety. Came across a really nice HD DVD haul all for $25, which was a great deal. And the first thing I got was a new HD DVD player. This here being a Toshiba HD-A2. Now this is my 5th HD DVD player, which usually brings up one very common question. Why would I want so many players? And the reason being is because these are getting harder and harder to find, especially for a good price. I can certainly go online and find thousands of HD DVD players for, $50, $100 and upwards. But finding one for a good deal, especially still in box, I can't really pass that up. And it's really good to have backups too. The two HD players I have out of box, those are hooked up to TVs, one in here and one down in the family room. But the 3 that I have now in box, they're backups. If in 10 years from now one of my HD players craps out on me, I'll have backups, and that's really cool. So I definitely love picking these up when I come across them for a good price. And for $25 for a HD player in box plus some HD couldn't pass it up. Now on to the HD DVDs I got today. And all but 2 of these I already did have within my collection. However, all but 1 of these was unopened. So for collecting purposes, I will probably end up replacing the HD DVDs that I already have within my collection with these unopened ones. Again, just to have a great unopened HD DVD for collecting purposes. And the first title I got was actually 2 copies of Blood Diamond. Why he had 2 copies, I don't know. One is open, one is not. I do already have Blood Diamond within my collection, but now I have an unopened copy. The next title I got was U2 Rattle and Hum, an HD DVD that I do already have within my collection. However, this one is also brand new, still factory sealed, so I'm definitely holding on to this one. Then I got Black Rain, once again an HD DVD that I do already have within my collection. However, also brand new, still factory sealed, so I will definitely be holding on to this. Then I got 9 Inch Nails Live Beside You in Time. I am a huge 9 Inch Nails fan, been a big fan of this group ever since probably around middle school. Just a huge fan, love seeing them live. Their concerts are always so great, a lot of fun. So I definitely want to get this and I cannot wait to check it out. And it's also brand new, still factory sealed, but this one I might be opening to watch. Then I definitely saved the best for last. The last HD DVD I got was Blade Runner. This here being the 5-disc complete collector's edition, which comes with all 5 versions of the film. Very excited to get this. This is also still brand new, factory sealed. The only versions I have, I believe, are the director's cut, and I have the final cut. That one I have on Blu-ray. But I do not have any of the other cuts. I do not have this set, so I'm very excited to get this. This is definitely a set I've wanted to get ever since it was first released. Very happy to have it on HD DVD. And now I gotta decide, do I want to keep this one sealed or open it up? I'm not sure. I might keep this one sealed only because I would like to eventually buy this set on Blu-ray, and I most likely will at some point. So I'm not in any huge desire to see all the different cuts of this film at the moment. I've already seen the final cut. I've already seen the director's cut. So the other cuts, I can probably hold off watching for now and wait till I get it on Blu-ray. And like I said, I really want to keep this one factory sealed for collecting purposes. So that's what I bought today, so now on to what I watched. And today I finally checked out, because a lot of you were asking me to watch this one, Cabin in the Woods. This was not at all what I was expecting. I had heard things like the words reality TV thrown around a ton. And I went into this one, especially from the very beginning, thinking it's going to be kids in this cabin, but it's all kind of set up for reality TV. And I thought, that sounds really stupid. I started thinking of really bad, Halloween movies. I was waiting for Busta Rhymes to show up or something. So I was kind of thinking, how can a movie about kids in a cabin, based around reality TV be as good as people are saying this movie is? Well, even though that's what I heard a lot of, people are idiots, and I was completely thrown for a loop. This has nothing to do with reality TV whatsoever. There's one scene where a kid finds a camera and thinks he might be on a reality TV show. That lasts about a whole 30 seconds, and that's about the only amount of reality TV this movie has at all. So, again, I don't know what people were talking about. I don't know why I kept seeing reviews and hearing people say things about reality TV. My guess is that people watched this one without paying any attention whatsoever and had no idea what was going on, because this movie was just fantastic and had a really interesting plot that I did not see coming. And I'm going to spoil some things for you here. If you haven't seen this movie, you might want to stop listening now, because I really enjoy what this movie is about and I really want to talk about it. So the movie starts off with, you see these people, you're watching these kids behind TV screens. You're thinking to yourself, okay, what's going on here? Why are these people watching these kids and kind of setting things up and talking about, trying to push the kids in certain directions for basically being killed? And I'm thinking, this is the part where I'm starting to think people are right about reality TV. We end up seeing, again, these kids in this cabin. They think crazy things start to happen. These people that are watching them start to kind of set things up, and they keep talking also about a lot of free will, about these kids, how they die, kind of, even though they kind of push them in certain directions, it's still somewhat the free will of these kids. They end up choosing their own death in this really neat way of going into a basement. There's all sorts of different things like a conch shell and kind of like the cube from Hellraiser. There's like a little ball kind of like that, and there's a book you can read from, like a Book of the Dead type thing. All kinds of different things in this basement, and whatever you kind of pick up and use ends up bringing the whatever creature's going to kill you to life. And they end up reading out of this kind of Book of the Dead sort of thing and raising up these redneck zombies, and they come to kill them. And we end up finding out that the whole reason this whole mess is going on is because there are these gods, and in order to please them, they have to kill 5 people. One of them being, I believe it's a whore, a jock, there's a virgin, I think there's a there's like a nerd, and then a like a loser or something like that. It's something along the lines of that is what they have to they kill. They have to kill all 5 of these, except for the virgin. The virgin can either she can be killed or she can live, but she has to have suffered. So again, very very interesting that they're killing these people off all because of these gods, and they've apparently been setting this up, doing this for years now, where they set up this whole scenario just to have these people killed off to please these gods. That is so interesting. What an interesting idea for a movie. It's not reality TV. It's not kids just going to a cabin and crazy things happening. No, this whole thing is just a huge and ridiculous, elaborate setup to please these gods and keep them from taking over the earth. If these gods are not pleased and they're unhappy, these sacrifices aren't made, they will take over the earth and kill off all of humanity. That is, again, such an interesting idea. And this isn't just taking place in the US. This is taking place all over the earth, and we actually see other countries and other things that happen, which again I think is really, really interesting. And personally, I would love to see some sequels based around these other cultures. Like they show a lot of the one, I think it's in Japan, where it's this creepy kind of like Samara-looking ghost girl floating around in this classroom scaring children. I really want to see that story. So I'm hoping if there is a Cabin in the Woods 2, since, again, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, the gods aren't pleased and they do end up taking over the earth, apparently. Since the earth is apparently taken over and all humanity is done, they can't really necessarily do it unless they completely BS and ruin it. They can't really do a sequel, based on like what happens next. Nothing. The earth's taken over. But they could do a sequel where they show you, how these other countries failed. And that's also one of the issues, is that all these other countries who are trying to please these gods failed this year around. They're trying to scare these kids and have kids killed off, and it didn't work in all these other countries, and it's basically left up to the United States, and they think they got it. They think, oh, no problem, it's in the bag. We're going to kill these people off, and it ends up not happening there either, and obviously that's how the gods end up taking over. So, again, I would love to see these other stories from the other countries and how they failed as well. That would be completely awesome. I really hope we get that, but I'm not holding my breath. I haven't heard anything, and I just had this crazy idea that you know, it's Hollywood. If they do a sequel to this, it's probably going to be something stupid that's an actual continuation or something. We're probably not going to see more stories. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I don't know. But I really, really like that. So just a really interesting movie. Just very interesting in the plot. I just did not see it coming. I never expected these kids to be getting killed off, all because of an elaborate setup, elaborate ritual of killing kids to please God. It just seemed really out there, but really cool all at the same time. And I do like at the end where humanity is killed off. I like how these two people, all the Virgin has to do is kill the one kid, and everything's good. The gods will be pleased, and the earth will be taken over. And she's thinking about doing it, and then ends up not. And I kind of like how they just said, fuck humanity. Everybody's gone. Everybody's dead. We need to maybe start this world over again. I think that's kind of cool that they did that. These two kids who could have just, all they had to do was sacrifice one of them, and, well, not the Virgin, just sacrifice the other kid. And everything could have been gold. They would have actually let the Virgin go. They said, they're like, you don't even have to die. You can just kill this kid, kill your friends, and we'll just let you go. We just need to please these gods. And they don't do it, and the gods take over, and apparently all humanity is gone, including them. Both of those kids are gonna die too. So again, really, really interesting idea for a movie. I just didn't see it coming. I was thrown for a loop, but in a completely good way. I'm sorry if I just spoiled anything for you. I did warn you to stop watching, but regardless, even if I did spoil the ending for you, still check it out. It was very interesting. I wouldn't say that it was necessarily overly scary or anything like that. As far as a horror movie, there wasn't there was plenty of horror, but nothing really overly scary, overly like freaky or anything like that, I would have to say. It was more cool because of the interesting idea. That's really what makes this story. It's not necessarily super scary or going to freak you out or anything. No, it's really the idea of what's going on, why these kids are being killed off, and just the plot in general of why everything's happening. That really makes this an interesting movie. So I would highly recommend it. I'm sure you've all been hearing it's great, and yeah, it is pretty damn good. Maybe not as good as everybody's been saying. I've heard some really, really good reviews on this. Things like, the best movie I've ever seen, just greatest horror movie ever. I don't want to quite go that far, but I would say it's very good, very unique, very interesting, and definitely worth checking out. And on the plus side, it's got nothing to do with reality TV. So that's it for what I bought when I watched today. Definitely excited about my HD DVD haul. Love getting a new HD DVD player, especially brand new, still in box. And also getting those brand new HD DVDs, well, with the exception of that one copy of Blood Diamond, is awesome. Very excited about that. And again, I paid only $25 for all that. So $25 for a brand new HD DVD player and 6 HD DVDs, 5 of them also being brand new. That was a really, really good deal, an amazing steal, and I had to jump on it. And also watching Cabin in the Woods, yeah, it was great. It's a lot of fun, but really when it comes down to it, it's the plot. The plot is really, really interesting, something I haven't seen before, and just really intrigued me. I mean, as the whole time this movie's going on, and it set it up really interesting too. It kind of kept leading you on to kind of why things were happening. It kind of did lead you to believe maybe this is a reality TV show, and then as it went on, you started to realize that, oh, they're doing this for the gods. I think they did a really good, a good way of kind of leading you into the ending, the payoff, this was all for gods. I think that was really, really well done. So again, a very interesting story. It's different, it's unique, it's a lot of fun, and it's a great, great horror movie. Maybe not the scariest movie in the world, maybe not overly horror-ish or whatever you want to say. It's not crazy scary or anything, but it still was a very fun and a very interesting story, and I would definitely recommend checking it out if you want to see a really good and really interesting horror movie. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to see what I bought when I watch tomorrow. See ya. That was a really good deal. I wasn't going to pass that up. And I like having more HD, extra HD DVD. Fucking kill me right now.